So today I want to talk about what you call the sandwich generation. And this is unheard of in the English speaking Western culture. Let me just say that right now. This sandwich generation is actually an Eastern Asian phenomenon that is happening, right? And, if you are in the Asian culture, and here's the thing, too, right? If you are Asian, born in the Western culture, you're not really an Asian, right? I mean, you're not from Asia, right? You have very little Asian influence. Maybe, the max you'd have is 10%. Yes, you want to believe you're Asian, right? Supposedly, somehow, they are richer nowadays, so you want to believe you're Asian, but you're not Asian, right? You're really an Westerner, and that's what people in Asia would call you, right? I mean, that's just how it is, right? Where you're born, your culture, your belief, that's what you are.
Parents don't have anything saved for retirement, and for various reasons that I experienced growing up, my husband and I are not okay with them living with us in the future.
Why is it your job to take care of them?
Because I can see the trajectory that they're on.
Why is it your job to take care of them? If they go in the street, why is it your job to get them out of the street?
Because they're my parents and I love them and I don't want to see them homeless.
Why would your parents not have any money? Why would they not at least have Social Security?
They would have Social Security, but
they're too irresponsible to pay their house payment?
They don't have a house right now.
Where do they live now?
Yeah.
They are in the process of moving to another state. My father just got a new job, and with various moves in the past couple of years, all of the equity that they had built up in the house that they owned when I was growing up has been depleted.
Okay, and your dad just got a new job, and they're moving to another state. What's your dad going to be making?
$280.
$280,000 a year?
Yes.
Has he always earned an income like that, or is this just out of the blue?
It has been around the 200,000 mark.
Okay, this answers the question. This answers the question. Okay,
my parents have been
stop.
paying...
You don't need to do anything. You need to look at your mom and dad and say, "I love you. Bye." People that make $300,000 a year and can't figure out a way to have housing aren't your problem. This is asinine, Marie. That you even have the feeling that you have to prepare for the homelessness of someone making $280,000. Your family is dysfunctional. They have dumped some crap on you.
And what do you make, by the way, Marie?
I bring in $4,000 a month, and my husband brings in $3,600.
Look, no.
What in the world, girl?
Nope.
Your dad makes $280, and the two of you together don't make $90, and you somehow got that this is your job to prepare for their homelessness?
He's not going to be making they're not going to be making $280 indefinitely.
Well, no kidding.
Once that my father is unable to work, they won't have anything built up, and since
that's their
are
fault.
not okay with them living with us,
that's their fault.
I'm aware of that.
Let me tell you, the number of dollars I'm going to give this guy is zero.
Marie, they don't have to live with you. Look,
they don't have to live with you. If he screws up a $280,000 income and ends up homeless, that is not on you. It is not on you. Do not need to do this. I don't know what in the world has gotten into you.
And by the way, they're not going to end up homeless. The worst case scenario, they're going to be renting.
These people land on their feet repeatedly.
Condo. Yeah.
They lose everything and get a job at 63 making $300,000. This guy lands on his feet like an alley cat. And he's got his daughter over here making $40K, worried about his homelessness.
Yeah.
Hey, kiddo, really, you need to sit down and see it. You need to see a counselor.
Yeah.
Because this is deep stuff. You are reflecting back weird crap that happened in your house growing up, and I don't know what it was, but how in the world your mama ends up a travel agent for guilt trips on you is beyond me. I mean, there is no possible way you end up taking care of these people. Not in my
Absolutely
book.
not.
Now, this is one of the things that is happening in Asian cultures. And you see, that's why, this is what happens, right? This is the parents. This is you in your 30s and 40s. This is where your kids, right? And what happened is that you have to take care of your parents according to Asian. Most of the Asian culture is like that. I mean, you could go to like India, Pakistan, China, what do you call it? Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Philippines, and so forth and so forth. I don't know too much about Russia and those places, but let's just say the East, South. Most of the Asian culture is like that because it is unheard of in the Western culture. What happens in the Western culture, and why I say this is I just got off the telephone, right, not too long ago with my doctor, and my doctor is basically like, because I'm in Canada, right? So my doctor was basically like, I don't need to take care of my parents, right? What happened is that I just have to make sure they are safe. And that literally means anything, right? As long as they are safe, which means that if they are living on the streets, as long as they are safe, you have done your duty as a child. But that's not how it works in Asia, right? I mean, you need to be making sure they are happy and everything. And, we have a much more, how should I say it? I guess the Asian culture has a much more reliance on the children taking care of the old, while the Western culture is not like that. And you see, most of the Asian culture, right, the older folks would pass on a house, would pass on things to the child, so the child can give a good life to these kids, right, these kids that are growing up. Now, in the West, right, these parents wouldn't do that. What happened, most parents, anyways, would spend it all, right? They would spend it all, maybe give some help, but most of the money is spent on themselves as they grow older and start dying, right? They would sell their house, maybe help these children out with the mortgage and stuff like that, right? Maybe give a down payment or something, but they wouldn't give everything. Well, in Asian cultures, basically, you would give everything. Now, I have a very westernized parents, which is unfortunate, but I literally got nothing. I mean, my sister got nothing. The thing is, most of the things that they had, they spent it all. And everything that I ever gone, I had to earn, right? I had to actually earn it and fix it and do everything, right? Basically, they just spent everything. They have no money. They have nothing. Right? Let's say they have no house, right? They're looking for me to provide a house for them. And at the same time, I need to provide a house for these people, right? So this is what you call the sandwich generation, because you got the pressure of these parents pushing you from on the right side, right? Pushing you toward the right side, and then you got the pressure of the kids pushing you toward the left side, and then they're pushing together, and basically you're squeezed in the middle, and that's what they call the sandwich generation. And it's slightly better in the West because it is unheard of where these young people, right, would provide a house for these old people. It is completely unheard of. Unfortunately, like I was saying, I spoke to my doctor, right? My doctor's basically like, I just need to make sure they're safe. I don't need to give them anything good, but I gave them a 2-story brick house. And, I'm constantly, like, changing channels and stuff for them to watch on their entertainment. And here's the worst part in my situation. My mom and dad are divorced, right? They split up, right? So he's going this way and he's going that way. So in the middle here, you got these two, I'd say, bad people, right? That just basically had sex and then made a child. Well, you got this man, right, asking me for a house. And then you got this woman here asking me for a house. And what have they done when they were young, like at this age? They have done nothing other than have sex, right? And they made you, which is unfortunately me. And now I have to provide a house for them, right? And then now I have to provide a house for them. So this is like a triple Big Mac sandwich. And in the West, I really, if you're in the West and you have these type of parents, I like, especially if you're Asian like me, I rather, in my advice is to just say F it, right? That's your problem, right? The government's problem, because that's what the taxes are for, right? And as an Asian, you see a real Asian, these people, these two wouldn't be, most of the time, they wouldn't be divorced. And then they would be providing house and assets to this younger generation that's going to replace them. So that's a true Asian culture. Now, these sandwich generation only exists if you're half Westernized, right, and half Asian, because no one in their right mentality, right, would ask the child to give them a house, and then this one, to give them a house for having sex. And this is where the sandwich generation exists, because these people are not fully Asian. They're half Westernized, and then they want the benefits of a house and everything, so they're giving pressure to these. Now, these young people have the kids, and these kids obviously is going to replace them, right? So they want to take care of them. But, it has to start somewhere. So, anyways, the sandwich generation only exists with half Westernized Asians. That's what I feel. I have never seen, let's say, another culture, right, take care of their parents, right, in terms of buying them a house. Like, not just them. Like, these two are together here, but let's say they are separated, right? Would you buy your father a house and then your mother a house and then have them live separately because they can't live together, right? It's very, very hard. And in this generation, it is, in fact, impossible. And some of these assholes, right, especially my parents, they don't want to live in a poor people's house. They want to live in a luxury housing where they're being taken care of for having sex. So, anyways, the sandwich generation in a nutshell has to stop somewhere, depending on where. I mean, in the Thailand video, right? This guy was like, well, I'm going to take care of my own retirement, so I don't need my kids to take care of me, right? But these people, these older generation, right, is part of the generation that believes half in gender equality and half not in gender equality, right? I mean, because I have a mother, right, that wants the gender equality of a woman, the independence thing. At the same time, he wants the man to take care of her. So it's a very unfortunate situation that we are in this era. But as we are in this era, you got to figure out if it's really worth it. Because like I was saying, my doctor was like literally saying, I'm not going to talk to your parents, and your parents are not doing anything wrong. What is going to happen is I need to send you to a psychiatrist. So send me to a psychiatrist for taking care of these people, right? Because what she is saying is it's your problem for taking care of them. You don't have to take care of them. All you got to do is make sure they are safe. And if they are living on the street, they are not dying. That means they are safe, right? And I, as the son, right, the middle, can just watch these people live on the street. But unfortunately, I am part Asian because I do a lot of studies in the Asian culture. I kind of feel more connected to the Asian culture compared to my parents. Well, unfortunately for me, I'm taking care of them. And, I'm stuck in the sandwich generation. But you got to really think about this before you get any older, because it can ruin your life, because you got to think about if these parents are really worth it. Because my parents, when they were young, they didn't do anything. I mean, all they did was have sex.